Hey oncers, thanks for checking out EskimoTV. I'm your host, Jason Escamilla, and today we're going to be talking about the Once Upon a Time Season 6 finale, The Final Battle. My favorite part of this episode was the ending scene where Lucy, Henry's daughter, comes to find Henry and tell him, just like he told Emma, hey, I'm your daughter. This was a really crazy scene that has us wondering lots of questions, and I honestly think that this scene is what made the episode go from being a good episode to a great episode. We are wondering lots of questions like, who is this girl? How is Henry not remembering who she is? Who is the mother? And I think that those are some great questions that we can explore. We've come to know Henry for 6 years. This is an older version of him, and we're wondering, how did he become this way? He seems like he's lost faith, and I definitely want to see how the writers answer those questions. I enjoyed the way that the writers concluded a lot of the stories for some of the main cast members that we've come to know, but I do have a problem a little bit with the way that they did it. And like I said in one of my previous reviews, I love these characters. Seasons 1 and Season 2 were great. We had natural curiosities about the show, and I really felt like as the series continued season after season, it really felt like they were just repeating and doing the same thing. There's a villain, they gotta stop it, there's conflict going back and forth, there's different magic being used, and at the end it's all solved by some form of magic, which is a little irritating because there's times where I'm thinking, why didn't they do that from the beginning? And I even have problems with some of the way that evil characters handle the way that they try to carry out their plans. For example, when the Black Fairy casts this curse to separate the family and tear them apart, if she really wants them to be broken and doesn't like these people, why doesn't she just kill them? If she doesn't want Henry contacting Emma, why didn't she send Henry to another realm or keep him locked up in a separate room to where he couldn't roam around the place freely like we saw in the episode? And those are some things I have to give the show grace, because they're trying to tell a story that can only be told if it's set up this way. And it's really creative and unique, but those are just some things that bother me. For those of y'all that don't know, there's some main cast members that will not be in the next season. Characters like Snow, Prince Charming, Emma, Zelena, Childhood Henry, Belle have all been confirmed to not be series regulars in Season 7. Snow and Charming's exit out of the show I think is a little easier to handle, because Snow and Charming are a couple. They can be out of the show doing their own thing. It would be a lot harder if Snow was going to be a series regular next year but Charming wasn't, because if Snow is being seen on a daily basis, that makes us wonder, well, why isn't she with Charming? So when it comes to Rumpelstiltskin, who is going to be a series cast member, why is Belle not going to be visually represented on a daily basis? Is he going to be leaving Belle behind and going on a journey with Henry? And the same goes for Hook. If Hook's going to be seen on a daily basis, then where is Emma? Is there going to be a conflict that divides these relationships? Or are the characters going to have conflict within the relationship? What's going to happen? I would love to hear your opinion on how the writers handle the lack of main cast members. When being asked this question in an interview, who will return for an episode or two, pop back in, Eddie Kitsis answered, everyone has said they're willing to come back. As our show is and has been for 6 years, we see people come back all the time. So we hope to be seeing everybody. So what that tells me is that while those characters that I mentioned will not be on the show in every episode, we will see them and feel that their presence is still existing. What I feel like the writers are wanting to do is focus on this adult character version of Henry and expand and introduce new characters while highlighting two of the, in my personal opinion, favorite characters that the show has, Regina and Rumpelstiltskin. I think that the show actually made a good decision. Not that Snow, Charming, Emma weren't good characters, but I do agree with the writers that their story has really been fully told, and I'm excited to see a fresh new start to season 7. What the writers also said is that if the audience loved the original once, then hopefully they will enjoy the next chapter in the new universes and adult Henry. And I like that they say the original once, because I really do feel like Once had a different feeling season 1, season 2, where Emma's going through the whole disbelief. I really felt like it was more realistic because magic wasn't always a solution to the problems that they were having. It was a real world where we only saw magic in flashbacks, but the main conflict at hand was very realistic. And I hope that we can see more of that in this season 7 that is definitely going to feel a lot different. I'm sad to see the characters that we've seen for the past 6 years not be regular cast members, but I'm definitely excited to see what creative direction the writers are going to go in now. It's going to be time has passed, or maybe we'll see how Henry got to the point that we saw him at the end of season 6. I'm not sure, but I definitely feel like it was a good thing for them to take a risk, because since the end of season 2, I really feel, although the stories have been quite interesting, we've seen a lot of the same method, and there's no shock or surprise to it. And maybe my expectations aren't being met with those seasons because they weren't meant to be this suspense cliffhanger that I'm used to seeing every episode in Lost. And with this new arc coming up, I don't know what to expect. There's not a revealed antagonist. We don't know how Henry got to this point. So there's a lot of mysteries that they're going to have to go about in an unconventional way, in a way that they haven't done the past couple seasons, that makes me really interested in how they're going to approach this last season. I think this was a big risk taker for Once Upon a Time, and I definitely think that risk is going to pay off next year. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Like this video, subscribe to EskimoTV, and I'll definitely be posting other TV show reviews and reviewing Once Upon a Time next season.